In this video, I'm going to teach you the 3 core skills that you need to have to find any sort of success with Facebook advertising and e-commerce. Let's get into it. How's it going? My name is Dylan Pearson. I'm the founder of Pondir.com. And welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm extremely excited to have you here. Don't forget to hit the like button as I really appreciate it. It helps out my channel. And subscribe if you're interested in weekly videos on e-commerce and advertising. So last week, I posted a full-length Facebook advertising course. Definitely go check that out if you're interested. Links in the description. And this week, when I was sitting down to figure out what I wanted to discuss, what I realized is that there's 3 core skills that really made the difference between me failing with advertising and e-commerce and losing money for years versus me today succeeding with advertising and e-commerce, running profitable brands and ads, and sustaining that for years. So when it comes to these 3 core skills, I have a feeling that you're going to be relatively surprised. It's not any sort of ad hack or tips. It's much more important. So let's go ahead and get into core skill number 1, buyer psychology. And you're probably thinking, what? I was expecting some sort of Facebook ad hack or some sort of creative tip. No. Buyer psychology was the single biggest factor in my key to success with advertising and e-commerce. And let me explain this. So you've quite likely heard of a marketing funnel. You've seen it represented in images. You've seen how to build out a marketing funnel, possibly in Facebook ads. But there's a big mistake that a lot of beginner and intermediate advertisers make. They don't truly understand what a marketing funnel does. Whenever someone makes a purchase, they go through a buyer's journey. So let's use you as an example. Think about the last time that you purchased something. How long did it take you? What were the objections that you had throughout that time frame? And then ultimately, what led to you completing that purchase? Seriously, grab a piece of paper and map it out, because what you're going to see is that you go through a buyer's journey every single time. And you're going to start to see the psychology of your buying habits. So for this example, I purchased a GoPro, the one that I'm using for this video. I looked on my Amazon, so it took me about 14 days to complete this purchase. Days 1 through 3, I remember looking, and I had concerns about the price. I think it was $400. I'm like, man, I already have a camera, and I'm not really sure if the price is worth it. I'll revisit it later. And then GoPro, with their advertising in those first few days, really drove home the benefits, the size, the capabilities, the recording quality, the fact I can hook up a microphone like this, the different extensions and how I can use it for a webcam. They drove home the benefits, and boom. I now understood that the value that this was going to bring to my life and my business was well worth the price. GoPro, in that example, used their marketing funnel. By understanding my buyer's journey and my buyer objection, they were able to break that down. Okay, so for days 1 to 3, my first buyer objection was price. GoPro broke it down by honing in on the benefits and the value that this brings. Let's say from about days 4 to 7, my next concern was really was the warranty. So I had read a couple things that this specific model had some issues with the battery for some time, and then you would have to send it in, and the lens. There was a couple issues I had concerns about, and I wasn't familiar with GoPro and if they had a warranty and so forth. And I remember seeing an ad that offered a warranty. So boom, my next buyer objection of essentially product quality was now broken down. So price, no longer objection. Product quality and warranty, no longer objection. My final buyer objection was shipping time. So at that moment, the specific model that I wanted was sold out on Amazon. And I was going on a trip to Orange County, California, and I'm like, I really want this in time before I leave. So I was able to actually reach out to GoPro, and they were able to confirm that yes, they had inventory on the way. If I placed the order now, I'd be put on the back order list, and I would be receiving it in time. So boom, they broke down my final objection, and I ended up making the purchase. So I think my total buyer's time, maybe wasn't necessarily 14 days, let's call it like 8 to 10, but that was a buyer's journey. And GoPro, by understanding the typical buyer objection and the psychology of their typical customer, they were able to break down my buyer objection with their marketing, with their marketing funnel, and ultimately I became a customer and they made money. So the single most important core skill that you need to learn is buyer psychology, and understanding that a marketing funnel is simply a way to break out buyer objections in time frames and then align creatives and Facebook ads that break those down. So when you're doing any sort of retargeting on Facebook, maybe you're you have it broken out where you have audiences 1 to 7 day view content and then 7 to 21 day view content. What I highly recommend you do is you would use a tool like Hotjar. Install it on your website, and you can actually put a survey on your website that pops up on exit intent. So when someone's about to leave your website, you can show a survey and ask them, say, what is stopping you from purchasing? You are going to learn the buyer objections and the time frames that they typically occur. That way you can take your Facebook ads, align them to that time frame, target the people right as they're at that objection, and then show a video ad or an image ad that breaks down the objection. If it's price point, show the benefits, drive home the value, show them that the price is well deserved. The value is much greater than the price point. If it's product quality concerns, show testimonials, show a warranty, make a promise that you deliver on, and so forth. So core skill number 1 that you need to learn, and it's going to be an absolute game changer for you, I promise, is buyer psychology and understanding for your specific product or brand when certain buyer objections occur and then how to break them down. Let's get on to core skill number 2. On to core skill number 2, understanding what makes up a high performance Facebook ad creative. Gone are the days of ad hacks and bully method bid tactics, and I mean they're still applicable, but for 99% of us it does not matter nearly as much as it used to. Gone are the days of all the ad hacks and these random budgets and so forth, because Facebook has algorithms and artificial intelligence that does a much better job than we ever will when it comes to optimizing and doing things like targeting and placements. But what we do have control over, and what's the biggest influence on Facebook ad success, is your creative. When it comes to creatives, I teach something that I refer to as the 3 E's. Entertain, engage, educate, in no specific order. Your creative and your ad copy needs to do all 3 of those for it to perform very well on Facebook ads. People aren't on Facebook to buy things. And when it comes to reaching cold traffic and converting them into customers, you have to build a relationship with that prospect. The best way to do this is by, number 1, engaging. You have to get them to stop scrolling. Number 2, entertaining. The more that they were entertained, the more likely they are to engage, to share, to so forth. And then finally, educate. By educated them, whether it's providing a tip or using your product to kind of shift their mindset on something, or teach them something new, you're providing value. You're building that initial foundation for a customer relationship. It's just like when you meet people in your life that you're now best friends with, or your significant others. It all started with that foundation of mutual value. You mutually find value in one another, and it's exchanged in that format. It's the same way for advertisers and the one that you're showing your ad to. By sharing value with them, they share value with you in the form of revenue. So focus on your creative. Don't get all caught up with the ad hacks and the bid tactics and this $5 budget strategy generates 1,000x return. All that stuff is wish-wash nowadays. You don't need to focus on that. Spend about 1% of your time focusing on that stuff. 99% of your time should be focused on learning how to build creatives that use the 3 E's. If you are curious about the how to build creatives, once again, I have that free Facebook ads course, link in the description of this YouTube video. You can also check out Pondir, which is my company, where we have AI tools for Facebook advertisers to help you do all of this. So that's core skill number 2. Learn to create creatives using the 3 E's, and you are going to crush Facebook advertising. So let's hop into this final one, which I really feel is going to be a game changer for you. On to core skill number 3, understanding the formula to Facebook CPM. So CPM stands for the cost per 1,000 impressions. It's essentially how much you have to pay Facebook for your ad to be viewed 1,000 times. When it comes to CPM, I often see people post comments and ask questions such as, "Oh, my CPM is $40. There's no way I'm going to be able to generate a profit with this." and they feel hopeless. They feel like there's nothing they can do, right? Because it's Facebook setting the price. I mean, what could you do? This was a huge game changer for me. I learned that there's actually a formula that goes into how Facebook decides how much to charge you, and that formula can be influenced by you. So once again, I cover this in detail in that Facebook ads course, but long story short, CPM is influenced by action rate, ad relevance, quality ranking, and then conversion rate ranking. So when it comes to action rate is simply conversion rate. When someone clicks on your ad, what is the percentage of time? Let's say 100 people click on your ad. What percentage of those 100 people end up taking the action that you want? So let's say you launch a campaign using the purchase objective. Out of 100 people that click on your ad, how many people purchased? That is your action rate. The higher your action rate, aka the higher your conversion rate, Facebook will actually charge you less because they see that, hey, this ad must be good, the landing page experience must be good because people are clicking on the ad and buying. And that means that you're more likely to spend more on their platform because it's generating revenue. So Facebook will actually reward you with a lower CPM for a higher action/conversion rate. Next, ad quality rankings. So you can actually see in your ad account, you can toggle the columns and add quality ranking. Facebook will give you a ranking below average, average, or above average. They're telling you what the perceived quality of your ad is against your direct competitors. If you can maintain an above average quality ranking, Facebook will reward you with a lower CPM. Facebook even goes as far to say that advertisers that have, all of these formulas optimized, or all the variables optimized, for example, action rate, quality ranking, ad relevance being your targeting's aligned, engagement rate ranking, is above average. They actually say advertisers who achieve that will be rewarded with a lower CPM. That you can go look at this in their documentation. I'm not making this up. I actually ran and if you're joined on Pondir, if you go to the coaching vault, I ran a $1,000 test. I took $1,000 and I launched an ad. My CPM was $55, and we weren't generating sales. So I'm like, I want to see if I can run a test to prove that CPM can be influenced. And so I tried a variety of strategies, and ultimately, by improving action rate, quality, and so forth, the ones I mentioned, I was able to decrease my CPM by 22%, decrease my cost per initiated checkout by 97%, decrease my cost per click by about 67%, and so forth. So by understanding how to influence CPM, all of your associated costs will decrease as follows. In the course, the one linked in the description, completely free on YouTube, if you go to the section, and it's all labeled in chapters, if you go to the pre-launch lesson, you're gonna see me use this Excel spreadsheet, which you can get access to. And right there, I have a calculator where you can input your current CPM and then try these different variables and increase, decrease, and see what your return on ad spend and what your purchase conversion value would go up to or down to, depending on how you influence these variables. So if you're new, this could be, this might sound very overwhelming, but it's actually extremely simple. Just make very high quality ads that people enjoy using the 3 E's. Optimize your website, increase your action rate, and you're going to see lower CPMs, which lower your costs across the board. So while everyone else is out there struggling with high CPMs, you will know the secret to decreasing yours and ultimately becoming profitable while they struggle and then eventually drop out of Facebook, which then also makes your CPMs more cheap. So that is key number 3. That sums up the 3 core skills that were absolutely vital, that completely took my road from failure for literally 2 to 3 years to this point where we generated millions of dollars solely off of Facebook ads for our own e-commerce brands, millions for our clients. We continue to do so through these challenges of iOS14, lack of data attribution, more data privacy laws, the whole mess. Just by understanding the core foundations that these 3 core skills really taught me. So I really hope that this was helpful. Once again, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button. Check back weekly for new content. Check out pondir.com. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and let's crush Facebook ads. See you soon.